Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking our time to check out the episode. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Always appreciate it. Helps us out in a bunch of different ways. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Now, the game that we're talking about today, when I started thinking about what games have inspired games now that were from, the late 80s, early 90s, I started thinking about a certain type of game. I started thinking about like roguelites, because right now that's kind of popular. I won't say it's at its peak because I feel like it's kind of slowed down a little bit. The deck building roguelikes have definitely emerged as a popular among somebody because they keep coming out with them. But I was like, what makes a roguelike game fun? And I started thinking about other games that were like it, and I came up with one good comparison. Smash TV. Now, for those of you who are unaware of what Smash TV is, let me give you a little breakdown of it. Essentially, this was an arcade game that was ported to consoles. It was even on the NES, which is the first place I played it. But I wanted to show you the Genesis version because that's the one we played the most of, and that's the one I remember watching my brother get really far into the game. But it's a top-down shooter, right? It's almost a twin stick like, but not quite, because we didn't have twin sticks back in the day. We only had one stick, and sometimes we only had a D-pad. But you're essentially a contestant on this Running Man like show, and your job is to try to survive as long as you can and get the highest score and get all the prizes, because you're playing for money technically. And this was one of those acclaimed, heavy arcade games back in the day. But this game is hard. Let me tell you, this game, you need somebody else. Like, that was one of the things I always thought about Smash TV is like, I need help, right? I need someone else. I need a player too. I don't like playing this game by myself. Not because, it's bad or anything by itself. It's just, there's so many enemies. There's so many things trying to kill you. And I even actually found out something that I did not know until I played it for this video, is that if you, instead of pressing A to shoot, if you press B to shoot, you actually shoot backwards. So it's a really good retreat strategy, but it also can mess you up too, because sometimes you try to shoot forward and you will be shooting backwards and missing what you're trying to shoot at. So just the controls itself, they're very fluid. It's just that you don't move as fast as you would like to all the time. You can get a speed boost. There are multiple paths, so it's almost like it's a roguelike, in where it's randomly generated every time you play, but it's really not. But the power-ups and things like that, they are randomly spawned. But the game does a good job of giving you a fair amount of power-ups versus the enemies on screen. Also, if you notice, I run into the mines a lot, so move past that. You don't have to say that. If you see it, just acknowledge that we are all trying and we're doing our best, and sometimes my best ain't that good. But as you keep progressing through the game, it fills it up with more stuff. It gets more difficult, but also you get, again, you get plenty of power-ups. You just have to be alive in order to get them, because they only spawn for a few seconds and they're gone. So you can't just let them sit there and pick them up when you want to. You got to pick them up as soon as you get them, which is cool. I mean, this is the type of thing we grew up on, with things fading away and stuff like that. The other thing is that you only get 1 credit. So you get 7 lives. You can pick up lives on the ground, like you get more, extra lives. You'll see them as power-ups on the ground, but they're random, right? So you don't know if you're going to get when the next one's going to show up. It's not like you can do the score thing and do all of that. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. And I know some of you may be looking at this game, if you didn't grow up playing it, you're like, oh my goodness, this just looks crazy. One of the things is this game, has gore in it, and that was not common back in the day. But leave it to Acclaim and the folks at part of the Mortal Kombat team, I should say, Acclaim, Midway, and all that whole little division, and all of them, with putting a little graphicness in there. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's very repetitive, so it's not the most ingenious game. There's not a lot of innovation going on in this game, but it's serviceable. It does a good job, and I really think the roguelike genre, whether they realize it or not, or people want to admit it, I feel like there is a lot of influence from games like Smash TV. So I wanted to shout that out, because I'm always looking to give credit to the past games that have definitely influenced the games that people play today. But yeah, just wanted to give Smash TV a shout out, and what better way to do that than one of these videos. So I appreciate you checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have fun. Hope you be safe.